is Iowa. And here, we don't just dream of a better tomorrow, of a smarter way to do business or live, of perseverance and progress. We inspire it in others.
Iowa pig farmers care. Learn more at iowapork.org.
All you have to do is you just have to get their feet here on the pavement and bing. Being in Des Moines, you just get it through the experience.
I'm a fan of a lot of our fast, casual cuisine.
A little theater, some great restaurants.
There's a lot going on musically.
If you can't find things to do in Des Moines,
you must be boring.
This is a magical place.
All you have to do is
I don't know, just the opportunities I've had, the people I've met, I couldn't have imagined a better college experience. The professor gets to know you really quickly. I know that people know who I am and that they care about me. With the opportunities I have here, I'm going to be able to succeed. Now I just feel like I can do anything. I don't know.
It's time now for the Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament on the Central Iowa Sports Network. From the smallest towns to the biggest cities, watch the Iowa girl compete for the title of state champion. CISN.TV's coverage of the state tournament is presented by Mid-American Energy, Schottenkirk Chevy of Waukee, Atlantic Coca-Cola Bottlers. Also brought to you by the Iowa Pork Producers, Shields, Fairway Foods, Buena Vista University, the Better Business Bureau. Now let's go courtside at Wells Fargo Arena in downtown Des Moines for state tournament basketball.
Good morning, everybody. Paul Yeager and Dar Danielson, the taller and more handsome Dar Danielson, joining us.
I don't know about that.
Well, taller, yes.
I look taller on TV.
That's just, you look taller on radio as well.
Oh.
And tell you what, we've seen some tall teams inside here at Wells Fargo Arena. We are courtside, getting you ready for day 2 of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union State Basketball Championships. Dar, yesterday we start with 5A, get most of the way done in 4A. Today is the cross-section day. We do 4, 3, and then 2.
2, yeah. It's a little bit of everything. We've one 4A game left, then you get into 3A, and then is it 2 2As?
2 2As, yeah, tonight.
Which, again, is a total flip. But used to be the small schools started first, and you went down to the 5A. You got started on Wednesday. So
you used to getting taller, which is why I bring this up at the beginning. You usually go from not as tall to really tall.
Yeah.
Now we're going from tall back down, but there's still some great basketball, great teams coming in here today. We're going to open up with Class 4A, the last of the quarterfinals, and it's going to feature Council Bluffs, Lewis Central, and LeMars. And you can hear LeMars is starting to make their way just right over here, and so you'll see them.
They've got a good contingent of fans already right in back of us here that are here ready to see their team.
And you had to drive pretty early to get from LeMars to be here at just about 9:30 on Tuesday morning.
Yeah, so that's a little bit of a haul. But,
it is.
You know, you get to see your team play in the state tournament, so.
You'll do anything.
Yeah.
All right, so that is the 4A. Let's quickly tell you, like we said, it's 3A and 2A. So the 3A quarterfinals today, we have the full docket of that, and that will be South Tama and #1 Crestwood, Davenport Assumption and North Polk, followed by Monticello and Clear Lake, and then the final 3A quarterfinal is Red Oak and Sioux Center. Then we go into 2A, Dar, finish up with West Sioux and Trainer, and Grundy Center and Iowa City Regina to end our night tonight. So when you look at these teams, Dar, let's start in 3A. #1 Crestwood becoming a perennial player here in this tournament, and they look good again this season.
Yeah, they do, and you know, that #1, #8 seed, you never know. Sometimes those are good games. Sometimes it shows up that, you know, the #8 seed is a team that maybe got here for the first time, or you know, or doesn't have as good a record. But sometimes they give that #1 seed a bit of a test.
Well, and one of the things that does happen in some of those 1A games, I think, especially in the smaller classes, is it's harder to tell level of competition. We had 2 teams in 1A and I think 1 or 2 in 2A that went out as undefeated teams in the regional final and didn't even qualify for state. And I'm thinking of one in particular, and that would be Central Decatur and Seymour. Seymour was undefeated and lost by almost 40 points. And so you have some of those discrepancies. It's much harder to tell in 1A and 2A.
And then sometimes you got to look at the schedule too, because those teams will schedule up and play teams, higher up in class, knowing that, they want a little tougher competition to hone them for the state tournament run.
Well, and some of those teams include Clear Lake. That's one of those that plays right at their level, 3A, a couple of 4A schools that end up in that area. But it's Crestwood in the Northeast Iowa Conference, Dar. They really only a couple of squads out of that one, but they're led by the Friesens. But they have a better presence down low this season. And I was talking to one of the radio guys before, and you, I think, would agree with this one. You have a good point guard and you have a good center or a good forward, you can go a long way.
Yeah, you can, because you can get into the run and shoot where you shoot a lot of threes, but still, you've heard Laura Leonard talk about it, Jackie Sapp, you get it inside and then outside, and that expands your offensive game that much more. So if you have that post down low, we saw that with Iowa City High, where the 2 sisters, the Jones, one is inside, one's outside. You get it into the one, kick it out to the other, and it just opens up so many more shots. And that's on any team. If you have a little more of a post presence, it always helps free up the outside.
That's almost basketball 101 right there, that some teams, though, have now seemed to have abandoned, is that inside out, and they've just gone to the 3 game.
Yeah, they get to shoot the threes. Another thing, it helps you on defense. If you got, a taller player back there, you can get them back, and if you run the press or, just regular defense, they're back there and they can play the eraser sometime.
Well, taking a look at some of the tops in 3A, Jessica Musgrave is a junior she plays for South Tama, and that's one of the teams that we'll see. That is an 8-1 game. Musgrave averaging 22.2, and South Tama plays Crestwood. South Tama, one of those with 9 losses, but you look a little deeper in their schedule, Dar, 6 of those losses were against teams that are playing here this week at Wells Fargo. Yeah,
so again, you look at the schedule and it tells you a little bit more about what type of competition they play, because you talk about some of those undefeated teams, you look down and they may have won a 70-30, a lot of 70-30, 70, games like that, where frankly it doesn't give you the competition that you need, because if you're pulling the starters out in the second half, and so
you're doing a good job of building the bench, but you might not be doing well for getting ready for the second season.
Yeah, and so you want to play tougher competition to get yourself tougher and get down.
And you've seen that in a lot of these schedules. You look at an Iowa City West that won yesterday. I think it's something like 100. It's like 135-10 is what their record is against the teams that beat them. They really scheduled up, and this year the Eastern Iowa City, Cedar Rapids, Mississippi Valley Conference had a few more open games and allowed them to schedule outside of the state, and that's where a lot of those games. Let's put a bow on yesterday if you want to, or do you want to keep going on 3A? You want to keep going on 3A?
We could.
Finish it off? Let's finish it off.
Yeah.
Let's do that. North Polk and Davenport Assumption, you want to talk about a team that plays up a conference, and that would be Davenport Assumption playing out of the MAC. And Eastern Iowa playing teams, defending champion North Scott. They also have to play the Davenport schools, Muscatine, Burlington, things like that. And Assumption, again, back here at the tournament.
Yeah, and North Polk is one of those schools that's kind of been building as far as all kinds of sports, as they've gotten a little bigger, and so, yeah, that should be a good matchup. Those 4-5s always are, because when you look at the records, it seems like there's not a lot of a difference between those two teams.
And that one tips off at 1:30 this afternoon. Remember, you can see all games streamed on CISN.TV, or you can also go to YouTube and search CISN and watch us through the feed that way. Then we have Monticello and Clear Lake. That is the 3:15 game, and then Red Oak and Sioux Center. Sioux Center is 22-2, and Sioux Center, Dar, is one of those teams that last year was in the state finals. I call them a hockey team because they just run waves of players onto the court.
Yeah, and that's they like to get a shot up like every 10 seconds or something like that. Yeah, and they run that style, which it works. It works at some point. depends on who you run up against. So if you have a run up against a team with a lot of length and speed, then it doesn't work so well because they can get out and trap you. But yeah, it is a good. They're fun to watch as they get up and down the floor.
All right, then we finish up with the first two of 2A, West Sioux and Trainer, Grundy Center and Iowa City Regina. Trainer last year was in the title game and lost their 19-1. Grundy Center 22-1. A whole lot of juniors on that squad against an Iowa City Regina team that features one of the state's best players in Mary Crompton.
Yeah, and that's going to be an interesting one to watch. Grundy Center, one loss. They've had a great season, and again, a 4-5 seed where you have a 21-4 and a 22-1 there, and it's hard when you look at the seedings for them because there's not much separation. When you look at it, and you kind of put them at 4-5, and that should be a good game, hopefully.
Yep. All right. Well, that'll do it for there. We'll talk with Lisa Brinkmeyer from the Iowa Girls Unit, and when we come back, we'll take a quick recap of yesterday's action, and then continue to get you ready for the 4A quarterfinal that's coming your way here at the top of the hour. So for Dardanos and I'm Paul Yeager, we'll be back in just a moment. You're watching coverage of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union State Basketball Tournament on CISM.
Why do I look for the seal? It's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau seal means this business meets high standards. When I see the seal, I know I'll get what I pay for. No more taking chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa. Why do I look for the seal? It's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau seal means this business meets high standards. When I see the seal, I know I'll get what I pay for. No more taking chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa. Why do I look for the seal? It's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau seal means this business meets high standards. When I see the seal, I know I'll get what I pay for. No more taking chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa.
Welcome back down courtside. Paul Yeager along with Lisa Brinkmeyer from the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. And Lisa, happy day two.
I know, it is a happy day too.
This is a little different. Yesterday when talking with Jean, I don't think she quite knew how 5-4-3-2-1. How do you think it went so far?
I think it went very well. Obviously, basketball-wise, it was outstanding. I mean, we had some upset. I guess it's depending on who you ask. Yep. But, always upsets are fun. We say there's 3 seasons. There's the regular season, there's the postseason, and then there's state basketball season. And yesterday that proved true with some of those teams that weren't maybe expected to win.
Some great players will not get a chance to play in the semifinals, those that get individual accolades, but they've got some teams. And it seems to be a good team can really go far here at this level.
Yeah, especially chemistry with seniors. Oftentimes seniors, love their season and know the end is near, but when they get to the state tournament, it's usually go time. They're thinking, okay, now I've got the definite countdown. Every game is my last game from here on out. So you do see some of a little extra heart maybe with that.
And this is someone speaking from experience. I don't know if you know this or not. I'm going to embarrass her. Named one of the Des Moines Register's top 50 players of all time in the state of Iowa. Hall of Famer. You played 25, goodness gracious, years ago across the street in the last 6-player game. Lisa, you were the star of that team, but you absolutely had a great supporting cast. How do you, if coaches ever ask you, and they should, how do you blend an outstanding player and get the rest of the girls to help you move on and play under the championship game?
Well, you're absolutely right. There were a bunch of us that were great athletes.
Name all your team.
Shannon Nessa was on the all-tournament team with me. Shannon Nessa, Sally Weichel was an outstanding forward with me. I mean, Sally would have been the star on her own team, but she was outstanding with me. I mean, Sally was always there with a great pass. She was there with the basket we needed, and still scored a lot of points on her in her own right. Christy Manater was the other forward with us. Tanya Winter, who has a daughter that plays for Indianola. So that's kind of fun.
So it keeps going.
We really are old.
Yeah.
And then Stacey Ferguson also has a daughter that plays for Urbandale. And then there's the players that came on the bench were also really good. We had Dana Ostrom, we had Lacey Brandt. So we had, when we took our time off on the bench, there was someone to step right in for us. But like you said, it was the chemistry with us too. We were multiple sport athletes, and there's just a lot of heart from the communities that we like to play with as well.
And just to prove that how special it is to people, you still remember, and you could probably detail a lot of that season still today. And that's what a lot of these players, as we see Lewis Central coming out, they're trying to build their own memories. So is the girl of today different than she was a few years ago?
I don't think so. I always joke when I go out and speak to schools and talk with dads or guys about their high school career. Oftentimes they bring up stats, wins, losses, actual game references.
Yeah.
And when you talk to girls, whether it's my age, my parents' age, or girls today, when you talk to them about their season, it's rarely about wins and losses. It's about bus rides. It's about the restaurants they ate at. It's about the funny things that happen. And I think that's what's great about the Iowa girl is that there's perspective there. Obviously, they want to win. There's lots of fight, and they can tell you if they won or lost. They're not going to forget that. But the things that are important to them are important to us too. That's why we have a lot of the pageantry associated with our events, and we know that that's important. And being a former athlete myself, I can tell you firsthand it is important.
And not only does Lisa know what teams of yesteryear, I won't even say yesteryear, of yesterday, you also know what these teams still do certain things, and soon we will see you in the arena because you're going to continue an event that you did last year, and that's talking with these semifinal teams.
Yes. So we started last year. The teams that made it to the semifinal, we have a little sheet that they fill out with little tidbits, interesting things they do, some of the history of their team. And then we go in and do about a minute interview with them, and they could do something silly that they do pregame. It could be something serious. We had a team last year that had like kind of a meditation prayer thing that they did. That was what was important to them, and the fans loved it because they don't get to see behind the scenes in those locker rooms, and so it was very well received.
I think, was there a mannequin challenge, one or two of those? I think you had to do one of those. There was a couple of teams that all were still, and then all of a sudden they're
very creative. And actually, some of the teams that are repeat semifinalists for this year, I went up to them after the game last night. I was like, ladies, we're going to be doing this again. And they're like, yes, we've had this planned. We've been talking about this. So we're glad they enjoy it. And that's really what it is. Yeah. Again, it's those sort of things that they like to do, the fans like it, and just to make for a great week for them.
Well, as someone who sits here for all the games during the week, it's good to see that the program, there are some similarities that you do from game to game, but I still like what Kathy Enyard, how you've tied her in and bringing the halftime performances.
Yes.
Wow, that has come about in the quarterfinals. You have two teams from across the state that are getting a chance to perform. But what is sometimes fun is some of these teams that come to dance at halftime, they might be girls that are also playing for their team on basketball as well.
Yeah, we've had girls that are basketball players are playing at state, and then they're also part of the dance team. And if it works out, great. We try to take that into consideration when we're booking it, so the team wouldn't be performing at halftime of a team playing. So there would be some of the flexibility if they wanted to do that.
Yeah, they can't go into the locker room, come out and perform.
Yeah, I don't think either coach would want that. Their focus wouldn't be where it needed to be. But that's a great way, again, that we like to tie in girls across the state. The more people, the young women we can get involved in this sort of a venue and event, we love it because it's an experience of a lifetime.
Now, Lisa, if you come down to the games, a lot of times you'll see her sitting mid-court in the second row, sitting next to my friend and dear talented individual, Vince Rubino. Yes. And Vince is the in-house DJ. So if you come down here and you hear a song that you're like, oh, that's rocking. It's not the normal jock jams, but he really helps set a good mood with the music.
Yep, we have a list that we've gone through because there is a lyric issue that we try to make sure we steer clear of. But Vince really does have a good grasp on music. He plays to some of the adults. He's got his classic 70s. He plays to the kids with some of the newer music. He plays to the mid-range. I did tell him yesterday it was Michael Bolton's birthday.
Oh, and I
heard it on the radio, Michael Bolton's birthday, and he was like, "I'm not going to play."
How did that go uncelebrated?
I know. I was trying to help him out if he needed filler, and he said he did not need any filler.
I'm just glad that, Lisa, that there's no chicken dance. That's really all I care about.
Yeah, he's lost that file.
Yeah, that's a shame that keeps getting destroyed.
Even though whenever he plays it, I said, Vince, you might not like it, but whenever you play that, everybody jumps up and starts doing the chicken dance. So.
I know. We'll have another great day of the tournament, and hopefully we'll talk to you before the end of this. And we're getting ready for those championships here Friday and Saturday. It's be here before we know it.
I know. It's exciting. You know, we have said, too, that Mother Nature must be a basketball fan because
I know.
This week, Thursday might be a little
it's
iffy
moved
northern
south.
Iowa.
It's completely changed from yesterday.
Oh, I haven't even looked. But anyway, we're okay. We've got these 55-degree weather, so we're just going to go with it for a while.
We call that Chamber of Commerce weather.
Yeah, there we go.
All right. Lisa Brinkmeyer from the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. When we come back, we'll get you ready for today. We'll also look back at yesterday's 5A and 4A games. This is the pregame show here on CISN.TV.
Price event. Schottenkirk Chevy Walkie. New 18 Silverado Double Cab 4x4 All-Star Edition. Power price. $99 per month lease. $99 per month. New 18 Silverado Crew Cab 4x4 All-Star Edition. $219 per month lease. 18 Equinox. $199 per month lease. New 18 Cruise LTs. $18,790. Hurry in for best selection. The Power Price event. Schottenkirk Chevy Walkie. WalkieChevy.com. The Power Price event.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
Hi, Ron here, head coach of Westside Auto Pros. When your car's on the injured reserve, you want to get it back in the game as soon as possible. I know that. That's why you need to bring it here to Westside Auto Pros. I have a team of experts that can fix almost every automotive injury. Whether it's a fractured joint, a brake, or if your car just got its bell rung, no problem. We can even do a complete physical on your car to make sure it's game ready for the entire season. So bring your car to Westside Auto Pros and we'll get it back in the starting lineup in no time. Hey, you guys are dogging it back here. Let's move it, move it, move it.
Moms typically get to make a majority of the healthcare decisions for their family. That can be a lot of pressure, but not for me, because I know the choice is ours. For medical tests like MRIs, X-rays, CAT scans, and of course mammograms, ask your doctor to refer you to Iowa Radiology. They work around our hectic schedules, they're the best at what they do, and they're so great with my family. They truly care, and it shows. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule an appointment. Iowa Radiology, our focus is your good health.
Welcome back inside Wells Fargo Arena. We are on the floor, the red outline floor with a black out-of-bounds line. Hopefully not too close that we won't get hit again.
Yeah, we had a couple balls come over here. Hopefully they're getting that out of the system early here with the warm-up so they don't throw them away during the game. But
sometimes that's one of those initiation type things. Hey, if you can hit the announcer, 50 points.
Tracy Daly, when she came over here, she goes, I have this strange fear that I'm going to get hit in the back of the head with a basketball on TV. And I said, but you'll be internet famous. Because I'll probably laugh hard, and then we'll put it up on YouTube, and it will be, So she said, thanks, Dar.
Yeah, thanks, Dar. That's Dar Danielson. I'm Paul Yeager. We're getting you ready here. We have some more games today, 7 of them in day 2. We will start with one more game in 4A, then 3A, and then a couple more in 2A. But yesterday, we started with 5A. The defending champ has gone home. Number 2 has gone home. 2 from Central Iowa, 2 from Eastern Iowa remain, as it will be Johnston against City High of Iowa City, then Iowa City West against Indianola.
And that's probably the surprise bracket, They both beat higher seeds, the 3 and the 2 there, Iowa City West and Indianola. So that's, if you say a surprise, that would probably be it in the 5A on that side of the bracket.
One of the things that got lost in yesterday's Indianola game over Cedar Falls, Indianola hit 21 of 21 free throws. Now, the Union keeps statistics on individuals who hit free throws in a game, but they don't keep team stats. Jason Esslinger from the Union saying, I don't have that stat, we don't keep it. But he says if we did, that probably would be a state record.
Yeah, and going back to 6-on-6 where you had one forward who shot them all.
Lisa Brinkmeyer.
Yeah, but it'd be interesting if they could ever research that. But.
Yeah, you'd have to do a lot more work on that one to get that one sorted out. But Indianola gets past that bump of the first couple of years they came with this group of seniors. They couldn't get out of that first round. Then last year they get to the semifinal round. This year, will Grace Berg and Maggie McGraw, who had 27 and 26, reverse that. McGraw had 27, Berg had 26, so they led Indianola. They'll face Iowa City West, B.J. Mayer's group. I'll tell you what, he was so relieved to be in that. And you know, they lost 7 games. They lost to some good competition. I said, how do you get the team to buy in and look, you know, because they lost 4 games in a row to ranked teams. How do you get them to buy in? He says, well, we did it a couple of ways. One way was they switched jerseys. They had new black jerseys for there, and they called it Back in Black. So you'll see their shirts when they come back here on Thursday. Back in Black. And people thought, what are you doing that for? He goes, it's AC/DC, man. It's a cultural reference lost, just like it was lost on Joe yesterday, your son.
Younger people.
He didn't get a couple of my music references.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot about you he doesn't get, but, you know, that's... Although he did tell me he likes working with you. You're a nice guy.
Well, I thank you. I slipped that. So, Dar, you've got some games. You're coming up here. Johnston, let me finish Johnston and City High. City High, we did talk about the Joneses earlier. They dominated in that game.
Yeah, and Johnson, maybe the sleeper that kind of got in there, you know, and not a lot of talk about them this year after losing their big star last year. She graduated, went on to play college volleyball, but Johnson put together a nice season, and you know, I think they'll give Iowa City a good game.
Yeah, and then you're talking about Taryn Knuth went down to Florida State.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, she was only the freshman of the year in volleyball in the SEC or the ACC. So fantastic there. In 4A yesterday, Center Point Urbana rolled Allison Woolridge 17. They win over Boone, and number 1 Marion 23-0, now 24-0. An impressive basketball team that just seems to be playing at a different level this year.
Yeah, they did start out a little slow there against Fairfield at the half. They only led by 6, I think, and then we talked about it, Laura Leonard and I, and she said, well, they're probably going to tell them at halftime, come out and play your basketball, play Indian basketball. And in the second half, they come out and they just raced away from Fairfield, and the game was pretty much over after the third quarter.
And Chloe Rice just kind of took over, and that's what she can do, the future St. Louis University commit.
Yeah, so all the top seeds in 4A won in yesterday's first 3 games. You know, Center Point Urbana over Boone, and then Grinnell. Grinnell's a team that, you know, last year they lost, was it in overtime they lost and got knocked out of the tournament? And I think, you know, you get that taste and you want to come back, and they're back here. And last night they, you know,
Sienna Durr is pretty fun to watch for Grinnell if you get a chance to see her in the semifinals on Thursday. She's headed to Columbia in New York City, Ivy League school. She had 4 schools that she had taken official visits to, one of them being Yale, the other one Columbia, and then a couple of other pretty darn good institutions as well. I asked her, I said, what is your ACT? And she says it's over 4. You know, I mean, she's not only is she extremely talented in the classroom, she's not that bad on the basketball court as well.
Yeah, and you know, that's what it takes. One of those players sometimes down here at state just to get things going, pull the others along.
Yeah.
Everybody else starts believing, and you get in your mode and you get playing, and you forget about we're at the state tournament, we're playing basketball.
Yeah.
And that's what it takes.
All right, then today, the first game up here on the docket, Dar, is you and Andy Pollock will have the game LeMars and Council Bluffs Lewis Central. LeMars from Northwest Iowa, Council Bluffs Lewis Central back in the tournament again. They were just thankful they weren't having to play Pella again in the first round of the tournament.
Yeah, and get back. And that's going to be an interesting game, and it's kind of a little different in that they got to see all the other teams play, and then they come back and play today. So I kind of wonder how that, you know, if that helps you or not. You know, if you sit there and you see what the other teams are doing in 4A, you can't look ahead, but, you know, maybe it calms you a little bit to see the other teams playing in this class, and then you come out and play that last game.
Well, and then we'll dip into Class 2A, as we said. Trainer against West Sioux, Iowa City, Regina, and Grundy Center in the top half of that bracket.
Yeah, and that's an interesting bracket too, because then you look down on the other half, you have Dykno Hartford, which has been the volleyball power, but they made it into, you know, basketball this year with some of those same athletes. So there's a lot a lot of mix, I guess, in that class, in Class 2A. It's got a lot of different types of teams, so it's going to be interesting.
Speaking of Dike New Hartford, they have probably the best warm-up pants that you will see of any team, and we'll have to wait until tomorrow to see them. Think Indiana, candy stripe red, but it's candy stripe blue.
We used to have the black and gold stripes.
Right?
Yeah. Well, actually, they got rid of them my junior year. We got new ones.
They
solid black.
They didn't think you'd look so good in stripes.
Well, I think they were probably about 20 years old by that time, but anyway. Yeah.
Leftover from the 80s, right?
Yeah. But and then 3A, there's no Pocahontas this year to worry about.
No.
In there, so, it's kind of wide open now with Ellie Ruffridge.
Down in Missouri State now.
And Pocahontas area, now they're not back, and so, that's kind of wide open, and we'll see if Crestwood steps into that, the #1 seed. Clear Lake's been a team that's been down here, so, these smaller classes have a lot of variety, I'll say. I say that because covering a lot of the 5A, those teams, I've seen so many overtime and close games with them that there's not a lot of separation there. But when you get into the smaller classes, it seems like there's a lot more of that.
All right, that's Dar Danielson. He will be on the analyst chair, but in the play-by-play chair later today. I'm Paul Yeager. I'll be back for a couple of games, but Andy Pollock will come your way next as we get you ready for tip-off. We're just minutes away here. All games today for free on CISN.TV. Thank those advertisers that bring this to you. That's the reason you're able to watch every game free all tournament long. We're almost done with the quarterfinals, and then the semifinals will be here on the network, and then the finals will be on Iowa Public Television beginning Friday night at 5:30 with the pregame show, tip at 6 and 8, and then on Saturday, an hour earlier this year, we begin the pregame at 2:30 with games at 3, 5, and 7. So Dar will take you the rest of the way this morning, but thank you for watching this pregame show on CISN.TV. State basketball is coming your way next.
It has become something of a lost art, remembering someone's face, remembering a name. They're the building blocks of a strong, caring community. Can you think of anything else more important than that? We can't.
Miss your hometown clothing store? The one that had it all? Everything to get the work done, all in one place? G&L Clothing is your hometown Iowa store. Stop in and see us, or we're only a click or phone call away. Family owned for nearly a century. G&L Clothing, 1801 Ingersoll, Des Moines.
G&L Clothing, your size, your style, we've got it all.
They say a university is in the middle of a bunch of fields. Hey guys, right up!
Welcome back to day 2 of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union State Basketball Tournament here on the Central Sports Network. Andy Pollock and Dar Danielson here in the final 4A game. In the quarterfinals, the winner with a date with Grinnell on Thursday afternoon at 3:15. In the semifinals of Class 4A, we've got LeMars and Lewis Central ready to go for you today on the court. And soon we will go to our starting lineups, courtesy of public address announcer Gina Rogers here at the floor of Wells Fargo Arena in beautiful downtown Des Moines.
When we provide nearly $500,000 in scholarships to young Iowans each year.
I rise up.
When we invest in solutions that create opportunities and improve the quality of life for all Iowans. I rise up.
And here she is, public address announcer for the tournament, Gina Rogers.
Nothing feels better than seeing
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines, Iowa for today's 2018 IGHSAU Iowa Farm Bureau Girls State Basketball quarterfinal matchup featuring the number 7 seed LeMars Bulldogs and the number 2 seed Lewis Central Titans. And at this time, the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union and the Iowa Farm Bureau would like to recognize the outstanding sportsmanship shown by LeMars High School and Lewis Central High School. In recognition of the importance of good sportsmanship, each state qualifying school was asked to nominate a spectator who represents their school and community in a sportsmanlike manner. Karen Brown of the IGHSAU will present each nominee with a certificate of recognition and a $250 check payable to their school's scholarship fund. Please join us in honoring these individuals whose decorum and respect for others serves as a model for all spectators attending interscholastic events. From LeMars High School, Julie Tyson. And from Lewis Central, Bernie Heller. Fans, it's now time to introduce the players in today's quarterfinal matchup. First, the non-starters and assistant coaches for the number 7 seed, LeMars Bulldogs. Number 4, Madison Maynard. Number 10, Brianna Kibbe. Number 11, Maddie Pippitt. Number 13, Brooke Hoggy. Number 20, Brooke Birkenpass. Number 22, Grace Milgrove. Number 24, Jaden Dreckman. Number 32, Daisha Buss. And number 34, Kristen Heimgartner. Assistant coaches are Tyler Phelan, Cody Deerkopf, and Shane Dreckman. Now, the non-starters for the Titans. Number 1, Hadley Hill. Number 10, Hannah Dunlop. Number 12, Jaden Cross. Number 13, Isabella Smith. Number 14, Danny Peterson. Number 24, Ashton Miller. Number 25, Delaney Esterling. And number 44, Whitney Wilson. Assistant coaches, Chris DeMark and Tom Hutchinson. Now, let's meet the starters for both teams. For the Bulldogs, number 5, Annie Ellis. For the Titans, a 5'8" senior, number 2, Alyssa Conricky. For the Bulldogs, a 5'7" senior, number 12, Dakota Owens. For the Titans, a 5'5" sophomore, number 4, McKenna Paulson. For the Bulldogs, a 5'9" senior, number 14, Sydney Baumgartner. For the Titans, a 5'11" senior, number 15, Megan Holt. For the Bulldogs, a 5'11" senior, number 15, Jen Schneider. For the Titans, a 5'8" senior, number 22, Natalie Rigatuso. For the Bulldogs, a 6'1" junior, number 30, Madison Dreckman. And for the Titans, a 6' sophomore, number 23, Megan Whitty. Head coach for the Bulldogs is Judd Paparoon. Head coach for the Titans is Derek Archer. The officials for today's game are Royce Rediger, Jason Slaughter, Marlon Schoenhoven, and Greg Hem. Fans, we ask at this time that you please rise and remove your caps as we honor the United States of America with the singing of our national anthem being performed today by Urbandale.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare above bursting in air came through the night, and our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner
One of the great traditions of the Iowa Girls State Tournament. Today, the national anthem brought to you by the Urbandale Chamber Singers. Get to hear a lot of voices from around the entire state of Iowa singing the national anthem here at the state tournament. Andy Pollock here on the Central Iowa Sports Network with Dar Danielson. Dar, as we get set to kick off this 4A game today, really going to be a matter, I think, of as we check out the tempo that both teams try to play with. I think today will be quite opposite.
Yeah, and something we've talked about on all these games starting out. It's the first game at state down here. A little nerves that first quarter. Seems like it's rough sometimes. And speaking of rough, Paul's messing around with our microphone there. So anyway, it's there we go. Got it set. So sometimes that starts out rough, but I think you are going to see a little bit different. One team is going to run a little more. The other team, try to control that. And I think whoever's able to control that without causing, disrupt their own game is going to be the team that comes out on top here.
Right. Lewis Central is going to really try to push the tempo, and if LeMars is going to pull what a lot would consider to be an upset today, LeMars is really probably going to have to slow things down quite a bit. But don't tell these fans from LeMars that they came out en masse today. There's a lot of black and red here on the Bulldogs side. The tip going to be controlled by Lewis Central. Over here on the side, this is Natalie Rigattuso. Up top, down low, we're going to get it now to Paulson, McKenna Paulson. Man-to-man defense early on from LeMars. And stolen away, good job. Not quite taken away yet by Jen Schneider for LeMars. And a hustle play, actually it is going to go out of bounds off of Megan Holt, and the ball will come to LeMars.
Yeah, she did a good job to step up off that weave up top and step into the passing lane and knock it away, and was fortunate it went off of one of the Titans.
Really going to see an extended man-to-man defense here from LeMars. On the corner, this is Dreckman. She's the leading scorer for them, averaging 18.2 points a game. But not only that, she averages almost 7 rebounds and 5 assists a game as well. Probably one of the best 4A players in the tournament. She's up early, and she's got the first points on the board for the Bulldogs. And it's Lewis Central out of sorts early as they try to press the tempo. Little miscommunication there between Pomeranke and Paulson, and the ball goes out of bounds, and LeMars will have it back. You really see an extended defense from Lewis Central right now as they really try to pressure the basketball.
Yeah, we've not seen a lot of zone defense. Fairfield opened up in straight zone last night and played most of that, but most teams playing man-to-man.
Down low once again is Dreckman, not able to capitalize this time. Lewis Central looking to run. Woody had it taken away.
And they're just a little sloppy to start here with the basketball. A little too much of a hurry.
This is Baumgartner. Ellis up top. Here's Dreckman. She tries to force a pass down low. Will be tipped out of bounds. LeMars will keep the ball underneath their own basket.
And Megan White, a good job there to fronting on defense and slapping that away.
A little trouble getting the ball in, but gets it to Dreckman. This is Baumgartner on the corner. A lot of switching. You'll see the Titans switch on all their screens. Schneider. Dreckman again. LeMars no rush. This is Baumgartner on the edge. See lots of movement, no rush, but they're working for a good shot. They're not going to try to force it in, very patient. Into the lane, here's Baumgartner, kick out. Owen's not able to handle the pass there. A long three on the way, and that's good. Jen Schneider knocks down the three to give them a 5-0 lead for
Lewis Central is doing a good job of jumping off those screens, but that time they just kept working it until they finally opened player.
Nice tempo, nice pace from LeMars on offense. Really patient, got to have a couple very nice shots off so far. Spin move in the lane, no good from Megan Holt. And once again, LeMars away with a rebound. Looking to run. Not the game LeMars wants to get into with Lewis Central right now as the Titans come away with a steal. That's Megan Holt. Natalie Rigattuso swings it on the corner. This is Pomeranke into the lane, has it taken away. LeMars thought about running there for a second. Did Sydney Baumgartner, and she thought better of it. Here's their leading scorer, Dreckman. A long three, air ball off to the right, no good. And that ball's going to have to go back to Lewis Central. Not sure that's a shot that Coach Copperwood wants that early in a possession.
No, and for Lewis Central, their first shot is coming, the bucket is coming, taking a while. Once they hit that, I think they'll calm down a little bit, but their offense is just a little bit not in sync yet until they get a bucket, I believe.
One thing we've seen out of so many of these girls, there's been a huge fast pace to a lot of these games as tournaments start off and then teams settle in, and I think right now it's maybe a little faster than LeMars would like to play. What do we get for a call here? Is that a 5-second call?
Yeah, I think so.
I believe they did. I believe they got Rigatuso for holding the ball just a little bit too long. Lewis Central comes into the game. They are 22-0. They're the 2 seed in Class 4A. Their 3rd straight trip to the state tournament. For the LeMars Bulldogs, it's been 16 years since they've been here. They're 17-6, and they are the 7 seed in this morning's session. Trapped in the corner, nice job to get out of it by Baumgartner. She's got it back. Really see that man defense extended for the Titans. On the edge, Schneider. That's where they want to get the ball down low to Dreckman, but everybody on Lewis Central knows where they're going with the ball, and they look to run the other way.
Yeah, and they're sagged the man-to-man, too, to step into the passing lanes.
Good flash into the lane by Megan Holt, and she's going to foul it. Our first foul of the day is going to be whistled on LeMars' Jen Schneider.
Fouls on the Bulldogs, number 15, Jen Schneider, her first, team first. Shooting for the Titans, number 15, Megan Holt.
Megan Holt steps up to the free throw line for Lewis Central. She is a 74% free throw shooter. First shot.
Number 14, Danny Peterson. In for the Bulldogs.
So almost halfway through the first quarter, and they're on the board. But that happens sometimes, those first games down here at state. Once you get a few, and that's good for them, they get a couple free throws maybe, and you look up and you see you're on the scoreboard, and things seem to go a little smoother then.
Danny Peterson checks in for the Titans. For the Bulldogs, checking in is Jalen Dreckman. She is the younger sister of Madison Dreckman. The eldest, a junior, Jalen, a sophomore. Long shot on the way, good! A three-pointer from Sydney Baumgartner. Back the other way quickly to Lewis Central, looking to run. Long shot on the way, good! Just inside the three-point line from Danny Peterson, who's just checked into the game. No hesitation there from Peterson.
Nope, and
Dreckman trapped in the corner, but wisely threw the ball off of Dakota Owens.
Yeah, it almost bounced and stayed in bounds. It was right here to my left, and it took one bounce and then hit the line. But
didn't know if the official actually quite had the angle to call that one. For LeMars, this is Ellis. Over to Brooke Hagee, who's recently checking the game, and she traveled, went to throw the ball, and got a little antsy and rubber pivot kick.
And that's where the defense was in the right spot, but the offense, nobody moved to get open for that. As she dribbled, nobody moved to make space to get her a passing lane somewhere to pass the ball. And as she realized that, she stopped and got the turnover.
Well, I would have thought with this tempo early on that we would have seen Lewis Central in the lead, but it's LeMars hitting the early shots. A couple three-pointers for them from Schneider and Baumgartner, and they've got the lead. Rigatuso throws it down low, and great front defense. That is Schneider tipped the ball away, and it went off the hands of Holt and out of bounds, and this gives Lewis Central a chance to set up their full court press. Baumgartner going to run the show. Lewis Central looking to trap, long pass, and that's taken away. Taken away for the Titans by Megan Holt. Up top, here's Rigatuso, long three-pointer on the way, no good, off to the right side, and the rebound cleared out of there for LeMars. That is Grace Milbrot into the game.
And it's key for LeMars because then Lewis Central can't set up that press off the rebound.
Milbrot up top, there's Baumgartner. Up top, another long three-pointer on the way, in and out, no good for Dakota Owens, and Lewis Central. Rigatuso clears the rebound. Pomeranke drives into the lane, nothing there, kicks out, three-pointer on the way, no good again. Cold shooting start for Lewis Central. Ball nearly out of bounds, nice job for LeMars. Jen Schneider clears it ahead. Here's Schneider again with the ball. Milbrot up top, Baumgartner. Here, this may be more the pace we thought we'd see. No, three-pointer quickly on the way. by Schneider. Back the other way, Lewis Central. It's been a real up and down game so far. Peterson, another three on the way. No good.
Yeah,
short. Quickly there with a rebound is Megan Holt, and she takes a little hop step underneath to clear herself and travels with the basketball.
Hasn't been an exactly offensive clinic the last couple minutes here, as they've kind of, I think both teams have settled in a little bit on defense and offensively getting their shots up, but Lewis Central looks a little tired right now.
Lewis Central, we're 6 minutes into the game and they're shooting 17%. On the other hand, LeMars shooting 43% early on. Owens driving in, stolen away, taken away by McKenna Paulson. Lewis Central looking to run, and she throws it ahead too far for Pomeranke, and it's going to go back to the Bulldogs.
Well, Lewis Central is forcing some turnovers here, but they aren't turning them into points.
Not really allowing the pace. They're trying to force the tempo too much, it feels like right now.
And I mean, that's their game, is to get the turnovers, but then usually they turn them into points on the other end, and so far had a couple opportunities down the floor where they haven't done that.
They've really taken Dreckman out of the game. We haven't seen many touches for Megan Dreckman. She averages over 18 points, and just have not seen her involved in the game much from that first possession. And stolen away here by Lewis Central. That's Danny Peterson, who made her presence known right when she checked in. We're going to get a foul whistle, but she looks to run.
Lewis Central does such a good job of anticipating those passing lanes and where to step in on defense. And Peterson did it that time up top. And then they kind of bailed her out with a foul.
Underneath their own basket is Lewis Central. Corner, there's Peterson again, and she drains it. Peterson stepped up and hit a couple quick shots, made her presence known when she checked in the game for the Titans. Dreckman down in the corner now. There's Annie Ellis. Megan Holt right in front of us. Back to Ellis. Three-pointer from NBA range on the way, and it's strong, no good. Rebound taken out of there for LeMars by Jalen Dreckman, the younger of the two Dreckman sisters, and she gets fouled quickly by Danny Peterson. This tempo has been pressed early on. Long shot on the way, Schneider, no good. Cold shooting continues. Lewis Central up top. This is Pomeranke into the lane. Out, three-pointer on the way. There, they hit one. A three-pointer for Megan Holt.
They take their first lead of the ball game.
Pomeranke with 10 seconds to go in the corner. Pomeranke's going to take it herself. We're down to 7. Pomeranke in the lane. No, step back. Long three-pointer on the way. Good if it goes. No good off the front iron. And the Titans going to clear the rebound. And we come to the end of the first quarter. Lewis Central on top. 9-8. We'll be back right after this on the Central Iowa Sports Network.
I've had, the people I've met, I couldn't have imagined a better college experience. The professor gets to know you really quickly. I know that people know who I am and that they care about me. With the opportunities I have here, I'm going to be able to succeed. Now I just feel like I can do anything. I don't know, just the opportunity.
We're back at Wells Fargo Arena, where a little mini comeback from Lewis Central has given them the 9-8 lead at the end of the first quarter. And Dar, probably a sloppier quarter than each team was hoping to have as they started off their 4A tournament journey.
Yeah, but typical of what I've seen, and regardless of the class here in the first quarter, LeMars shooting just 30% for the floor, 25% from three. Lewis Central 37.5% overall, and 33%, 1 to 3 from three-point range. 6 turnovers for LeMars, 7 for Lewis Central. And so got that first quarter out of the way here at the state tournament. We'll see it coming out in the second quarter. The coach, use that time between quarters to talk to them a little bit. We'll see if they slow things down, get working the offense a little better.
LeMars back out with their starters. It's Ellis, Owens, Baumgartner, Schneider, and Dreckman. Lewis Central as well out with their starters to start the second quarter. Here we go. We'll see what sort of adjustments have come on to the court. Dreckman up top, looking to have a little high-low game. Nothing there. Lewis Central looks to maybe use, no, they are still in their more of a sagging man now. Baumgartner back up top to Dreckman, and she's going to set things up. Dreckman only 2 points in that first quarter. Here's a three-pointer on the way, no good from Sydney Baumgartner. Back the other way is Lewis Central. Here's Whitty. Rigatuso. Pomeranke now down in the corner to Whitty. LeMars with very good defense in this first half. Rigatuso drives in the lane, can't get the acrobatic wave to follow. Put back, no good by Megan Holt, and we're going to get a foul whistled, I believe. They're going to get Sydney Baumgartner for the foul on LeMars.
Fouls on the Bulldogs, number 14, Sydney Baumgartner, her first.
Some good inside play out of Lewis Central. Hadn't seen that before.
LeMars has done a nice job of forcing Lewis Central into a half-court set, not giving them the fast break layups that I know they'd like to get today, as that ball's tipped out of bounds by Ellis. Rigatuso going to run the show right now for Lewis Central. To Whitty. Down low, they try to force the ball inside to Megan Holt. Nothing there, kicks it back out. Three-pointer on the way, Paulson, and no good, just short. And Dreckman comes away with a rebound for LeMars.
That was good ball movement, shot just didn't drop for him, but that's what you want to see. 2 or 3 passes and then the shot.
Up top right now, this is Sydney Owens. Long three on the way from Dreckman, no good. Maybe force that one just a little bit, and here's Lewis Central looking to run. Ahead it goes to Megan Holt. Holt all the way in, layup, no good. Gets her own rebound up, and we've got a foul on the floor. Going to be whistled on LeMars. 14, that's going to be on Sydney Baumgartner, once again her second.
14, Sydney Baumgartner.
Fourth team foul on LeMars. Just one call on Lewis Central so far.
A pretty cleanly played defensive first quarter of play, but neither team able to find the range at all on offense. A little trouble getting it in, but finally Pomeranke does get it in. Holt up top. Rigatuso again. LeMars sagging off. You notice Lewis Central's really extended their defense. They're going to try to get someone isolated down low, and we've got a travel up top as Pomeranke shuffled her feet coming off the screen.
Yeah, Lewis Central kind of a little confused by that, with the defense switching just a little bit, didn't know where to attack it. And that leads to the turnovers, a little indecision and a walk there.
Baumgartner walks the ball up the court against some token pressure from Pomeranke. They try to come up for the trap, and then knocking it out of there is McKenna Paulson for Lewis Central. Right in front of us down here, courtside. You got Schneider taking the ball out of bounds.
I will say the back of our heads look nice though on TV. That's our best side.
Might be getting a little glare off mine right now. Up top, this is Jalen Dreckman into the game. Back over to Baumgartner running the show. They try to get down low to Madison, Dreckman, nothing there. Rigatuso looking to run up with a left-handed layup. It's good. That's the type of game that Lewis Central wants to get into right now.
And it took about 2.5 minutes for a team to score here in the second quarter.
Jen Schneider has done a great job keeping the ball out of Dreckman's hands. Here's Jalen Dreckman in the corner. Reverse layup, good. Nice touch by Jalen Dreckman.
Yeah, that was great court awareness, knowing where you're at with that basket and just able to back over the shoulder and pop it in there.
Having the two Dreckmans on the court right now for LeMars gives them a little bit of a mismatch on offense. We'll see if they can exploit that. For the Titans, here's Pomeranke on the edge. Again, sagging off. LeMars going to give up that three to some of their shooters. Cross-court pass. Here's Holt. Long three on the way. No good. Rebound ripped out of there by McKenna Paulson. The shortest girl on the court comes away with it. The entry pass denied, though, and up with a steal is Sydney Baumgartner.
Yeah, they tried to go that entry into the Twin Towers. It didn't work that time.
Here's Dreckman again, got herself in a bad spot down low. Long pass up top to her sister. This is Megan Dreckman into the lane, hangs in the air a long time, no good. And that is Jalen, the sister, with a rebound and puts it in. And back on top is LeMars, 12-11. You can tell a lot of girls playing tired right now. Here's Rigatuso down low, really trying to get it down there to Holt. Holt draws some attention out there, kicked out, no good from Whitty. And Baumgartner going to slow things up just a little bit for LeMars. Down in the corner, actually we're going to get a quick three on the way. Good! Annie Ellis from the corner. And a 4-point lead for LeMars, and Lewis Central going to take a timeout. It is a full timeout. We'll take one as well and be back right after this on the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Believes in competition and good sportsmanship. Who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
Moms typically get to make a majority of the healthcare decisions for their family. That can be a lot of pressure, but not for me, because I know the choice is ours. For medical tests like MRIs, X-rays, CAT scans, and of course mammograms, ask your doctor to refer you to Iowa Radiology. They work around our hectic schedules, they're the best at what they do, and they're so great with my family. They truly care, and it shows. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule an appointment. Iowa Radiology, our focus is your good health.
Welcome back to Wells Fargo Arena in downtown Des Moines, where the LeMars Bulldogs have opened up a 15-11 lead over Lewis Central. And actually right now, Dar Danielson, it feels like maybe it's Lewis Central that's struggling to keep the pace right now and play at the pace comfortably that they would like to play at.
Yeah, LeMars seems to be tuning it up on offense and getting the shots they want. 3 of 11 now for three-point range.
Rigatuso with the ball up top, trying to direct things around, and that sagging man defense Lewis Central has really struggled with so far. They're going to have to hit a couple three-pointers to really break it up and extend the defense. There's a long shot on the way, no good from Danny Peterson. The rebound is going to go off of, like it went off
LeMars,
of Baumgartner down there in the corner. That will stay with Lewis Central. That turns into a long defensive possession when you play defense that long and then not able to gather in the rebound.
Yeah, and a little longer floor here too. So a lot of these girls on both teams, you see them huffing and puffing a little bit.
And cold, dry air here in Wells Fargo Arena. Cold especially. Baseline move there. Up and no good. An athletic move, but not able to put it in is Megan Holt. Baumgartner up court with it for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, as this basketball court is over the ice here.
We feel it on our feet.
Yes.
Down low, this is Jalen Dreckman, up top to Megan. Madison, excuse me. Corner, there's Madison Dreckman, long three-pointer on the way, good! Caught it in rhythm and drained it from the left wing.
And that was what, 1, 2, 3 passes and shot, so just perfect offense right now, in sync.
And such a quick release from Madison Dreckman as she drained that three-point shot. No hesitation, caught it in rhythm, put it up and in.
7, their largest lead of the game.
Lewis Central a little out of sorts on offense right now, creating a lot of stuff down there, and it looks like, is that Baumgartner? No, that is Schneider creating, no it is not, excuse me, Annie Ellis, I saw the 5, thought it was 15, and Ellis a little ginger getting up from getting knocked to the court, but she was creating a lot of havoc down low for LeMars. Baumgartner trapped up top, and we've got timeout, LeMars, 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it right here. But right now, Dar Danielson, LeMars has opened up this 18-11 lead, and really, it's been their three-point shooting. They're shooting 33%, but they've drained, they're shooting, 33%, but they've really, they've been at perfect times that they've hit these three-point shots.
Yeah, and Lewis Central, we talked about it earlier, they got some turnovers that come down and failed to convert those. They need to, they're doing good work on defense. They need to just slow down, maybe some more passes on offense, move it around a little more, and sometimes they've gotten it inside, they've tried to go up against a double team inside, maybe kick it back out, a couple more passes. Be patient, you got a little more time. I know now you're down 7 and you think, well, we got to, score right away, but you don't have to score that quickly. Just take your time and get into your offense, get a rhythm going.
I think that sagging man defense that LeMars has been using so far has really flustered the Titans.
Yeah.
Had them take some outside shots that they don't necessarily look comfortable with.
Because LeMars is leaving some of those shooters open and letting them shoot it, and they apparently, they've got to know which ones they want to let shoot.
LeMars with the ball, looking to extend their 7-point lead. Ball taken away, as that was Annie Ellis trying on the spin move, and she gets tied up by Megan Holt.
Lewis Central's ball on the alternate.
So turnover there on the alternate possession.
So here, let's see if Lewis Central can turn this turnover again into some offensive points.
Lewis Central just not able to find the range so far, shooting only 24% from the field.
Megan Whitty back in for Lewis Central.
Pomeranke will run the show right now for LC. Got the ball to Peterson there. That's where they want to get down low to Holt. He gets knocked away. And that's going to be Holt, Whitty, whistled for the foul over the back of Dreckman.
Yeah, on the rebound. Well, they're being determined. They're going to pound it inside even though you get the double team. And that time they almost had the second look shot, but missed it, and then they got the foul. So
Baumgartner back in the game after about a 5-second rest. Picks up her dribble a little bit quick, and the ball almost, I expected to see Danny Peterson go over top of the scorer's bench there. She was cocked and ready to make that leap.
Yeah, but that was perfect defense. She came with the hand around. She didn't grab the player, and she got the hand there and deflected with the hand. She didn't hold or anything.
Schneider down in the corner to Madison Dreckman. Back up top. There's Schneider. Three-pointer good. And they continue to stroke the ball well from deep. Jen Schneider for 3 for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, she's feeling it. She's got that catch and release right now where it's just catch it and pop it. And it's all of a sudden a 10-point lead.
And again, they cannot capitalize at the hoop. Megan Holt cannot capitalize. Quickly ahead, this is Ellis. Look at LeMars looking to run. No, and Ellis decides to pull it out. Dreckman, the no-look pass down low to Baumgartner. Baumgartner into the lane. And she's got issues, and no, she's going to be fouled by Danny Peterson. But man, you continue to watch LeMars get open three-point looks, and they continue to hit them. And I did not see this 10-point lead coming early on in this one.
And then there, they take it down low, and they work it. Now, she was looking to kick it back out before she got fouled. But, their offense is just much more in sync right now.
Schneider back to Baumgartner. Really no issues. Baumgartner into the lane. We're going to get a foul whistled on, I believe, Peterson.
Fouls on the Titans, number 14, Danny
yes.
Peterson.
And that will send Baumgartner to the line for the Bulldogs. Baumgartner on the season, a 65% free throw shooter. The 5'9" senior averages just under 10 points a game. She's got 3 today. Make it 4. So an 11-point lead. LeMars has doubled up Lewis Central here with just under a minute to go in this first half of play. The winner goes on to take on Grinnell 3:15 on Thursday in the semifinals for Class 4A. Rebound ripped out of there off the miss, Megan Whitty. Quickly back the other way. LeMars is all there on defense. They try to get the ball. They force it, try to force it down low to Holt. Nothing there. Tipped out of there by Jen Schneider. Taken away. Here's Dreckman, the younger Dreckman. Underneath the hoop, kicks it out. Maybe traveled, got it out to Ellis. Three-pointer on the way. Good! Annie Ellis drains another one. And she's got 6 on the day. And LeMars has opened up a 25-11 lead over Lewis Central. The LeMars fans behind us are enjoying this one immensely. I think they brought the whole town out today, and they are loud and they are feisty. Sagging defense for LeMars, another long 2-point shot on the way, good, and that kills the rally. Lewis Central, that is Whitney Wilson off the bench, steps in and hits the long 2-pointer, and that stops a long run by LeMars. And quickly back the other way, ball tipped out of bounds and is going to stay with LeMars. Here Lewis Central tipped the ball out of bounds. There is some discussion here as the officials come together, and they will stay under the basket. 4 seconds to go in the first half.
And they've outscored them 17-4 here in the second quarter.
They were the ones that made the adjustments first. Underneath the basket, here's LeMars. Trouble getting it in up top, and travel as it looked like Jen Schneider tried to get up in the air to take the shot. and she got a hand in her face right away and was not able to get it off. So now Lewis Central will have the last chance at it in this first half.
Got up in the air and determined, yeah, that's a double team.
Rigattuso, a couple dribbles. Long three-pointer on the way, good if it goes, and it's not, and we go to halftime break. LeMars ahead of Lewis Central, 25-13 on the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Is your hometown clothing store the one that had it all? Everything to get the work done, all in one place? G&L Clothing is your hometown Iowa store. Stop in and see us, or we're only a click or phone call away. Family owned for nearly a century. G&L Clothing, 1801 Ingersoll, Des Moines.
G&L Clothing, your size, your style, we got it all.
Building a strong community doesn't happen overnight. It takes a vision for the future, the ability to turn a challenge into a success, and individuals who inspire new generations of growth. Greater Des Moines has done a lot of growing over the years, and so have we. At Brick Gentry Law, your success is something that we create together. Thank you for making us a part of your community. Thank you for 50 years. Building a strong...
The value of staying active cannot be overlooked in our lives or our young athletes. However, high-intensity workouts come with the risk of injury. If you or your child have sustained a sports injury, Select Physical Therapy in conjunction with Iowa Ortho are here to help with 2 convenient walk-in locations.
From diagnosis through recovery, you'll be put directly into the hands of experts who will evaluate and treat your sports-related injury.
Call us today for an evaluation.
I opened the Hearing Clinic to offer patients and their families a positive healthcare experience. If you have trouble hearing clearly at church, at the movies, watching TV, or with your friends and family in a group conversation, what are you waiting for? In less than half an hour, we can give you peace of mind and answer any questions that you may have. Call us today to schedule your appointment. The Hearing Clinic, 515-440-3323. We listen, you hear.
The Des Moines area is starting to buy trucks at Schottenkirk Ford Indianola. Up to $13,000 off MSRP. Select new 17 Ford F-150s. And up to $8,500 off MSRP. Select new 17 Super Duties. Schottenkirk Ford, the truck stop. Up to $13,000 off select new F-150s. Schottenkirk Ford Indianola. The truck stops here. Schottenkirk Ford.
Welcome back to Wells Fargo Arena in downtown Des Moines. Andy Pollock and Dar Danielson with a call here as at halftime break, LeMars leads Lewis Central in the 4A quarterfinal, 25-13. You're watching the Pleasantville dance team out on the court, and I'm not sure exactly what they're dressed up as, but they look a lot different than every other dance team that we've seen out
Didn't you wear that polka dot costume last Halloween?
I did, and it shrunk a little bit, it appears, out there. So as we take a look at some of the halftime statistics right now, as a team, really, the story's been so far that LeMars is out shooting Lewis Central 47% to 25%, and most of that damage has been done from the three-point line, as LeMars is shooting 6 of 14 for 43%, and Lewis Central has only got off 4 shots from out there. Free throws, each team has shot 2. LeMars has made 1. Lewis Central has made both. Rebounds, Lewis Central leading in that department, 15-11, but they also lead in the turnover department, which is not a place that you want to lead. And they have 11 turnovers in that first quarter as they've tried to push the tempo and did not look comfortable doing it early on. Individual statistics as we look at those right now. First of all, for the trailing Lewis Central Titans, Megan Holt, their leading scorer, has 5 points on 1 of 7 shooting. She's also got 4 rebounds and an assist. Also in there, Natalie Rigattuso. She is 1 for 3 for 2 points. Megan Whitty has not scored yet, but she's got 2 rebounds and a couple assists. And Alyssa Pomeranke also has not scored, but she's got a rebound and a couple assists. McKenna Paulson with a couple rebounds for the Titans. Also off the bench, Danny Peterson, 4 points. She was a spark for the Titans early on. And Whitney Wilson has 2 points off the bench as well on 1 of 1 shooting. For the leaders in this game right now, the LeMars Bulldogs, they are led right now by a couple different gals, actually. Annie Ellis with a couple big 3-point shots. She has got 6 points in the first half. Sydney Baumgartner has 4 points. and 3 rebounds. Jen Schneider with 6 points as well and a couple three-pointers. Madison Dreckman, the older of the Dreckman sisters, have 5 points. She's their leading scorer, been held in check, but they've had some other gals step up nicely. For the Bulldogs, Jalen Dreckman, the younger sister, has 4 points as well at the break. We saw a 14-point lead opened up by LeMars. Lewis Central was able to hit another shot, and really it was a story of the second quarter, Dar.
Yeah, the second quarter here, Lewis Central 2 of 12, 16.7% from the floor, 0 of 1 from 3. Wow, LeMars shooting a blistering 66.7% in that second quarter, 6 of 9, 4 of 6 from three-point range, and 1 of 2 from the free throw line. So, you know, the big story there is the offense went cold, and credit some to LeMars' defense on that, but just Lewis Central not finding, you know, not finding the buckets they want, and you know, they're 22-0, so I'm assuming here at halftime they're going to be talking about that. Okay, let's settle down. We know, you know, come out and play our brand of basketball here in the second half. Forget the first half; that doesn't matter. We got to win this half to advance, and that's probably what the coach is going to be saying to them.
And really, all the statistics are pretty much dead even except for shooting percentage, and that's a big one.
Yeah.
There's a huge disparity there, and that's what's allowed LeMars really to open up this 12-point lead at the break.
Yeah, when you look at, Lewis Central, you know, 15 to 11 rebounds, they lead in that category. Lewis Central had 2 more turnovers over to LeMars, but, you know, they've out-rebounded LeMars, but, again, and the turnovers, talked about it, the ones that they've gotten, they haven't turned into points. So just a matter of finding a way to get those shots to fall, maybe a little better shots, a little extra pass here and there to move the ball around some more. And then, you know, they've been determined to force it down low a little bit on the post, and it hasn't worked out so well.
25-13, our halftime score. Andy Pollock and Dar Danielson will be back with some of the keys to the second half. Right after this, a break on the Central Iowa Sports Network.
You want to get stronger, faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself. A place for people of all ages, all walks of life, that provides opportunities for all to succeed. We do that. We're the why. Build more than muscle. Build a stronger community.
We challenge the conventional, reimagine what it means to be better, and then dare ourselves to make it great. This is Iowa, and here we don't just dream, we make history.
Welcome back to Wells Fargo Arena. Andy Pollock, Dar Danielson, as we come to you at halftime here of LeMars on top of Lewis Central. The score's 25-13. The winner of this game has a date with Grinnell on Thursday afternoon in the semifinals. A little bit different schedule than we've seen in the past. And Grinnell, we thought, looked really good last night as well in their game.
Yeah, they came out and
big win.
They took care of business kind of every time, you know, they got a run against them. They answered it and came back and you know, just went on to win that game easily. So, and Lewis Central here just got to find the offense, you know, get things calmed down a little bit. And defensively, they've been playing really well. Credit to LeMars. LeMars has moved the ball well to get some open threes, but those threes they're getting, it's a quick catch and shoot and getting rid of it quickly against that defense. So Lewis Central's going to have to find a way too to up their offense a little bit.
Lewis Central, if you're Coach Archer, you really want to find a way to get your leading scorer Megan Holt involved quite a bit in the second half. Didn't see much out of her in that first half, but she's the leader of this team, and they need to find a way to get her the ball.
Yeah, get her the ball and get her where, you know, move it around a little bit so she has some time, so she doesn't have to make a, you know, outstanding move just to get a shot off or, you know, under duress. So move the ball around a little more, and I'm sure they'll work up something, maybe run a, you know, try something different play or something they haven't run to try to get her going, because it's one of those things too, once you get a player heated up a little bit, you know, then they kind of get on a streak.
if you're Coach Copperwood with LeMars right now, as you look at what they were able to do in the first half, really spread things around a bunch. You continue to do that in the second half. Your leading scorer, Madison Dreckman, as we've seen with so many great game plans put about in this state tournament to take out a team's best scorer. If you're Coach Copperwood, do you try to get the ball to her, or do you try to hopefully let things continue to be spread around and let a few people get the shots?
Just continue playing your offense, and if it's there, it's there. But, you know, if other people are going to get the open shot and they're hitting it, do that. Because right now that's what they've been doing. They've been moving it around, and they're getting the open shots and they're hitting them. So, you know, don't change up. The thing is, don't stand around. You got to move, especially against this Lewis Central defense. If you stand around, they're going to jump into the passing lane, steal the ball, and be off the other way. But keep doing what you're doing, moving on offense, and then talk on defense and play. You know, they've sagged on defense and done a good job on that. So both ends of the floor, keep the movement going.
With the defense that LeMars used in that first half, like you mentioned, they've really sagged off, and Lewis Central has taken some shots that they didn't necessarily look comfortable with. Do you continue to use that defense, or do you run the risk of outthinking yourself if you continue to do that in the second half?
Well, you use what's working, and then the coach, you know, they'll make the adjustment. It's all kind of, you know, they play by feel on how they think the game's going. And, you know, making sure, too, sometimes you switch it up if the players start standing around and aren't, you know, playing like they should, then maybe you'll switch it up a little bit. But, yeah, keep doing what you're doing. Don't let off the gas if you're LeMars. And you're going to tell them, you're going to expect a run. This team's 22-0 you're playing. They haven't lost a game this year, so you know they've, you know, they're going to have a couple runs in them at least here in the second half to come back at you to try to cut down this lead. So you just got to weather that, and, you know, that's how you move in advance.
LeMars the 7 seed, Lewis Central the 2 seed, so if this score holds, it would be an upset in the eyes of a lot of people here. We'll take one more quick break and be back with a second half right after this on the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Iowa pig farmers care. Learn more at iowapork.org.
Kurt Chevy Waukee, new 18 Silverado Double Cab 4x4 All-Star Edition. Power price, $99 per month lease. $99 per month. New 18 Silverado Crew Cab 4x4 All-Star Edition. $219 per month lease. 18 Equinox, $199 per month lease. New 18 Cruise LTs, $18,790. Hurry in for best selection. The Power Price Event. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com. The Power.
And we're back to start off the second half here at Wells Fargo Arena. Andy Pollock alongside Dar Danielson. And Dar, how important is it right away for LeMars to either continue what they're doing and seeing what they've done in the second half, or for Lewis Central to get this stop with a 12-point lead in a game that's been this low scoring? It really seems you really have to value each possession of the basketball.
And the start of these halves we've seen have been crucial in a couple games already down here. So you got to come out. For them, if they come out and score first, it'd be a good start off. But Lewis Central, if they can get a stop and then come back and score, it's a big deal in the start of these quarters or halves.
Dreckman down low. She's going to try to get it to Baumgartner. Baumgartner loses her dribble. Back up top, Ellis into the lane. She had a couple threes in the first half. Got the ball stripped away from her off her knee, it appears, out of bounds. And the ball will go to Lewis Central so a quick stop for LC.
So now we'll see key for Lewis Central here to come down, work the offense, get a good shot, and get a bucket.
Paulson running the show over here in front of us. This is Pomeranke. They try to force it down low. They do get it down low, and we talked about that. Megan Holt would be the key in the second half, and she gets the first two on the board in a very concerted effort to get her the basketball. LeMars was looking to run. They had wide open underneath. Dakota Owens were not able to get the ball to her, but as she drives, gets the ball to, she drives Paulson, going to be whistled for her foul. First foul of the half. Baumgartner up top to Schneider. Corner, Owens. No good. Rebound out of there is going to be tipped out of bounds off of Owens. Excuse me, that was Ellis with a shot. And just a little token pressure from LeMars, really trying to keep the ball out of the hands of Pomeranke to run that offense. Rigatuso now down on the corner. This is Pomeranke back up top to Holt. Paulson down to the corner once again to Whitty. Whitty into the lane, up with a shot, stripped out of there briefly by Dreckman. And Lewis Central will retain possession.
It already looks like, though, they're running something where they clear out and then drive in.
And I thought that would be the game plan from the beginning, really, with Lewis Central. They're really spreading things out a lot more. Here's a shot on the way, free throw line, jump shot, no good. Great box out down there from LeMars by Jen Schneider, but she had it ripped out of her. Here's Rigatuso for three, no good. And they continue to not be able to find the range. Look at the scrappiness on the floor, and a quick timeout whistled by Lewis Central.
McKenna Paulson just wouldn't be denied on that. She got that last rebound, ripped it out of there, and then that one, she went down on the floor to pull that rebound away.
So just a little extra spunk right now from Lewis Central to start this quarter. You wonder what Derek Archer might have said to the team at halftime there to see this.
Yeah, just come out, play your game. Come on, let's. Well, he told them is, we got a half, and if we don't, wake up, our season's over and we get our first loss in the state tournament. If you come out and you play hard in the second half, we can win this and move on and keep our record perfect.
And as we saw yesterday, especially in Class 5A, no lead is safe at this state tournament. We saw a couple double-digit leads that disappeared in a hurry.
Yep.
So Lewis Central with the ball underneath their own basket out of the timeout. You see them spread all over the court. Look for a cutter into the lane off this set. There it is, actually Rigatuso long three from way behind the line, no good. But once again, Lewis Central has given themselves a lot of second opportunities today as that rebound was tracked down. Down to the corner, Whitty tries to get it down low and is taken away. You see him once again try to get that ball to Holt, and they were unable to do so that time. Dreckman loses the handle on the dribble briefly, swings it across, three-pointer on the way. This is Schneider. No good, and again we've got bodies on the floor, all over the place, 4 bodies on the floor, and the ball gets tipped out of bounds.
Went off of Pomeranke.
Yes, it did. Pomeranke got caught in a bad spot there underneath their own basket, and it's going to stay with LeMars.
We're seeing a lot of battles in the lane down there at both ends right now.
Scrappiness. There's the ball up top. Schneider. Dreckman, long three on the way, in rhythm. It's there. Rigatuso pressing the ball for Lewis Central, really trying to get it up court in a hurry, but LeMars back so fast. Down to the corner, really no one looking for that outside shot for Lewis Central. They've taken them completely out of their layup game. This is Pomeranke, long shot on the way, no good from Paulson, and another rebound gathered in there offensively. This is Megan Whitty, and she's fouled.
I know one thing Derek Archer told him at halftime, crash the boards, because they're doing that with on every shot that goes up. And that time it paid off.
The thing that is interesting to me right now is to watch just the confidence that LeMars shoots those threes with. I mean, they come around, they are dead-eye, they've got there's no hesitation. They are up with it right away.
Yeah, and almost Lewis Central, they're shooting them, but they're shooting, hoping to get one in. They want to cut this score down a little bit. But you're right, LeMars, they catch and they have their feet planted and they're just releasing.
And no good on both free throws, but once again, Lewis Central, another chance down low. That's Megan Holt gathered in the rebound, and she's fouled. So fouls or the rebounds are giving Lewis Central a lot of second chances, but they just haven't been able to capitalize. Rigatuso up top. Pomeranke, they try to get it down low. Oh, nice job by Whitty to have her on her hip. And we've got the ball whistled. We got a foul, I believe. Did they get Whitty for it? Yes.
Yep.
Fouls on the Titans. Number 23, Megan Whitty. Her second, team second.
So again, they're trying to force in the post where that seemed like that motion game moving around. Andy worked a little better for them offensively.
But they're not getting the spacing down there that I think they'd like to get. They've got a lot of defenders down there. Trapped in the corner here is the younger Dreckman. Gets it away, and it's taken away by Whitty. Back the other way, the Titans. Megan Holt. Holt isolated, nope. have my view blocked a little bit right there. We talked about that yesterday. You know, we used to be up top, you could see everything, but sometimes struggle to see exactly who had the ball. And I was the one complaining yesterday. The officials gotta understand we've got a job to do, right?
Yep. Watch the monitor.
Yeah, exactly. Gonna have to right now. Here's McKenna Paulson at the line for Lewis Central, and she hits their first free throw of the second half.
But there again, they did a little movement and then drive down the lane, and it turns into free throws here.
Second free throw, no good, and the ball stays with Lewis Central. Is it just me, or does it feel like we've been playing this entire third quarter so far on this side of the court?
Yeah, it's kind of like a soccer match, it seems like. They keep everything staying down on this end.
Deep pass in to Whitty. Have not seen either team go very far on their bench so far today. Here's Paulson down to the corner. Whitty once again. Holt up top. She dead eyes a three-point shot, no good. Now LeMars comes away with a rebound down to the corner. That was Annie Ellis. Some token pressure from Lewis Central. Now they extend it. That's where you want to break it, right there to Dreckman. Baumgartner running the show. Baumgartner not a huge scorer, but she does a nice job running this offense for LeMars. Jalen Dreckman looking down low to her sister for a brief moment. Nothing there. LeMars in no hurry right now. Ellis. Here's Baumgartner once again, and they're going to reset things. Down to the corner, Jalen Dreckman tries to get it inside, taken away by Holt. Holt running the break, gets it ahead, layup up, and nope, she took an extra step. As they try to get the ball, Pomeranke just took that one extra step. She was kind of caught in no man's land, Dar.
Yeah, and just again, the story of the game, they get a turnover, but they come down the other end, and they just can't convert them to points right now.
They are as cold as the ice under our feet right now, shooting 23% from field goal from the floor. Baumgartner now struggling a little bit with the press. Gets it ahead, and ball wide open down at the other end. Here's Jen Schneider in for the layup, up and good, and Lewis Central's going to have to get back on defense a lot faster than that.
Wow, just seemed everything working for Mars. Ball almost tipped, but it goes back to their player.
Rigatuso from long range, and those are the kind of shots Lewis Central's going to have to hit to get back into this game. 30-19, LeMars in the lead. Dreckman tries to dribble through the press, and she is going to get tripped up. I believe they're going to get it on McKenna Paulson.
Number 23, Megan Whitty. Into the lineup for the Titans, number 2, Melissa Pomeranke.
All right, right in front of us, this is going to be Schneider inbounding it to Baumgartner. Entry pass from a long ways away. Ball tipped away from Dreckman momentarily. They get it down low to Madison Dreckman. Three-pointer blocked out of there, and we've seen Danny Peterson provide quite the spark plug today for Lewis Central. Off the bench, she has been all over the place, and there's Megan Holt getting fouled as she takes the ball in the court. The foul starting to mount up here in this third quarter. Third foul going to be whistled on Annie Ellis, and she hit a couple big three-pointers so far in this game today for LeMars.
And there was last three by Lewis Central. I think it was only their second one, so.
They haven't really shot too many of them either. They've really been working hard for layups, and LeMars realizes that. Into the travel going to be whistled on McKenna Paulson as she tried to make her move and stuttered a little bit too much before she got the ball on the ground.
Saw that lane and just shuffled the feet.
So Baumgartner has been earning her keep as a point guard for LeMars today, as every time she's had the ball, she's had someone all over her. Looking for some help right now. Or Dakota Owens. Down low, a little high-low action between the Dreckman sisters, and it is taken away by Lewis Central. And taken right back? No. Again, bodies on the floor all over the place. Jalen Dreckman hard into the lane. She comes diving in, takes the ball away, and calls timeout. Full timeout for LeMars. We'll take one as well and be back right after this. You're watching Iowa Girls High School Basketball State Tournament on the Central Iowa Sports Network.
This is Iowa, and here we don't just dream, we make history by nearly doubling our clean energy as part of our 100% renewable vision. With this, our energy costs will remain some of the lowest in the nation. We'll create new jobs and boost economic growth. Our air will be cleaner, our state stronger. And together, we'll advance this country's energy future forever. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service. This is Iowa.
And we're back with LeMars leading Lewis Central right now on the Central Iowa Sports Network 30-19. And we have got bodies all over the place in this second half. Girls diving all over the place. Just a great attitude by everyone on the floor. There you saw right before the break, sophomore Jalen Dreckman diving on the court and calling timeout after a loose ball. And she was about the fourth one down onto the floor.
Yeah, and it was quite a... There can be a few floor burns after that one.
That's good. Leave some DNA on the court. Tell the youngsters all the time when they're out there. Baumgartner now. We're down to 10.5 minutes left in this game as Baumgartner picks up her dribble. Dreckman been pretty quiet today, but they've had other gals step up big time for LeMars. Baumgartner once again. The edge, Dreckman, the leading scorer for this LeMars squad, down low. LeMars in no hurry right now. As I say that, Dreckman throws up a three, no good. Rebound cleared out of there by Paulson. Looking to run is Lewis Central. Paulson all the way in, off the glass, no good, and the rebound out of there with Baumgartner. LeMars gonna slow things down again, under 2 minutes to play in this third quarter. Spreading out the court, and the ball tipped away as they extend their defense big time. That was Danny Peterson once again. No rush for LeMars. Jen Schneider with the ball. Into the lane, and that ball tipped away, coming right over at us. But Lewis Central has just not, in fact, both of these leading scorers have been completely neutralized. Megan Holt for Lewis Central with 7 points today. Madison Dreckman for LeMars with 8 points. And they've been very quiet there, though. Jalen Dreckman from her sister gets the layup, and it's Jalen Dreckman now with her 6th point of the day. And LeMars has opened up a 13-point lead.
That was a nice sideline out of bounds and almost a steal out front.
That was Owens with her hand on the ball. There's Holt with a 3-point shot on the way. And nice job fighting for the rebound. That's McKenna Paulson. She's back out of there with it, though, as she's one of the shortest on the court. She's a feisty one. Into the lane, that's where they wanted. Holt up with a shot, and no good. Good straight-up defense by Jalen Dreckman. And LeMars comes away with it with under a minute to play in this third quarter. Here's Madison Dreckman. The no-look pass down low to Jalen, and she gets the layup. What a pass.
Wow.
Sisters on the same page.
Yeah, they had a connection there, and she had a big old smile on her face after hitting that pass and seeing the basket go in.
LeMars up 15, 35 seconds to go in this quarter. Into the lane, and Dreckman going to get whistled for the foul as Alyssa Pomeranke drove baseline. That is going to be Dreckman's second foul. No one in any real foul trouble for LeMars except for Dakota Owens, as she has got, Jen Schneider, I believe it was, that had her third foul earlier. Lewis Central appears going to hold for one. Now with 20 seconds to go in this quarter. There's Holt down in the corner. And that long pass almost taken away. Gathered back in, Paulson into the lane. And that shot by Peterson, no good. And the rebound taken out of there by Dakota Owens, and it's going to go back to LeMars, and they'll have a chance for the last shot and a chance to extend their lead.
Yeah, Danny Peterson, the classic frustration foul. You just miss that open look, and then you rush in and you get the foul on it. And
Peterson just picked up her 4th for Lewis Central.
Lewis Central still only has 4 fouls here in the third quarter.
9 seconds to go. This is Schneider. Schneider kicks it across. And Dreckman going to get the shot off. No, kicks out. One extra pass. Shot was no good anyway. One extra pass. They were not able to get it off. And LeMars opens up a 15-point lead in the third quarter. They lead 34-19. We'll be back with the final 8 minutes right after this. CISN.TV.
Here on the pavement in big. being in Des Moines, you just get it through the experience.
I'm a fan of a lot of our fast, casual cuisine.
A little theater, some great restaurants.
There's a lot going on musically.
If you can't find things to do in Des Moines,
you must be boring.
This is a magical place.
Why look for the seal? It's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau's seal means this business meets high standards. When I see the seal, I know I'll get what I pay for. No more taking chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa.
Welcome back. We are back at Wells Fargo Arena. Andy Pollock and Dar Danielson, where LeMars shot lights out, and they have opened up a 15-point lead right now on Lewis Central. And it seems like every time Lewis Central has an answer, LeMars is able to come right back and hit big shot after big shot.
Yeah, and I keep saying it over and over. LeMars, even when they get a turnover or a rebound and come down, they just cannot connect them into points, and that's been their game. Is you get the turnover, race it to the other end and score, but they just have not been able to do that. And LeMars has held off all the challenges here, but we got 1 quarter to go, and we'll see if Lewis Central can make a run back here.
One of the things I love about being courtside is you can see the looks on the girls' faces as Rigatuso's three is way off, and they might have to start taking some shots like this. But you can see the looks on the girls' faces right now, and there's some concern on the faces of the Titans, but man, LeMars, those girls look excited right now. Baumgartner against the press, and we'll see this ratcheted up in the fourth quarter. Right back to the middle of it, and they get another look coming down court. That is Dakota Owens back in the game. Down low, they get it to Baumgartner. Not much of a score, but she puts it up, and she's going to go to the free throw line. She was able to get Pomeranke on her hip as she posted up, and we haven't seen Baumgartner take many shots, but that time she knew what she wanted to do as she got posted up.
Yeah, credit the teams. Talk about it. The two big shooters haven't had the day they normally have, but these teams have responded and still able to score without them.
Baumgartner, a 65% free throw shooter, hits the first, and the second no good. Rebound cleared out of there by Pomeranke. All the way down court, Whitty all the way in, and she switched to her left hand at the last moment. I think that caught Dreckman off guard a little bit, and Dreckman whistled for her foul. That's going to be her first.
Team 6.
So LeMars outscored them 9-6 in that third quarter.
Most of that happened at the end of the quarter. Whitty's first free throw bounces back to her. Jalen Dreckman checking back in, and that's been a good combination so far for LeMars and Coach Copperwood. They have got a little high-low game going between the Dreckman sisters, and they've looked good out there. And a quick jump ball, and that's going to stay with LeMars, but we'll move the possession arrow back to Lewis Central.
Yeah, Lewis Central now, they're going full court pressure here. And as soon as that ball comes in, they're going to double team it.
Dreckman gets it into Baumgartner. They try to tie her up right away. She rips it out of there.
And that's the way to beat it. Turn and pass. Don't dribble.
Ellis, she's dribbling it down, and we may see a lot of fouls here. It looks like Lewis Central not wasting any time. Pomeranke whistled for her second there. And man, as we look at that scoreboard ribbon, 22% for Lewis Central, and it is really hard to win any ball games. You shoot 28%. Yeah. You look at the other one, 48% for LeMars, and that's why the score is the way it is right now. Touch pass into Ellis. Ellis spin move in the lane, decides to kick it back out. Baumgartner, very patient right now. Dreckman, no rush. Here's Owens, down low, quick flash to Ellis, up off the glass, no good. Rebound gathered in by Megan Holt, and Ellis going to get whistled for the foul.
So let's see. Not in the bonus, no, 6. Or was that the 7? That is 7. Yes. So we are in the bonus. I was waiting to see if they put that
up yet. Number 5, Annie Ellis.
So that will give Lewis Central a chance to claw back into this game, this 15-point deficit at the free throw line.
Number 15, Jen
and so next foul, both teams, next foul on Lewis Central, both teams will be in the one-on-one then.
We saw Iowa City West close out a 12-point deficit in a hurry yesterday. We'll see if Lewis Central can do that today or if LeMars can hang on. Certainly no indication right now that LeMars is about to step off the gas at all. They're going to have to handle a lot more defensive pressure right now as they get the ball into Dreckman. Dreckman, long cross-court pass, and Lewis Central will get another chance at it.
That woke up Paul Yeager behind us. He was thinking he was going to catch that, but
he wasn't going to catch it anyway, I promise you that. I've seen him play baseball. Down low it goes. There's Holt up with a shot, double clutch, and she gets it to fall. Holt is really, we have not seen much out of her today, and now she just got into her, scored her 11th point, but she's going to be the key if Lewis Central is going to find their way back into this game. Free throw good, and Lewis Central has it back to a 10-point game. Dreckman kicks it ahead there. They break the press with ease. Down court, there's Schneider. And man, look at that pressure from, flying into the lane. That shot no good. Probably a little too quick if you're LeMars. Owens, no good. Here's Paulson, long three on the way. Short, no good. And another offensive rebound for Lewis Central. They have got every rebound of this second half.
Fouls on the Bulldogs, number 12.
That will send Holt to the line once more.
And that's what you don't want as LeMars. Let him go to line with the clock stopped and get some points.
Holt, the 5'11 senior, is signed on with University of Nebraska. Kearney hits that one. Also the team's leading rebounder, and not to mention, she also averages 5 assists a game. Holt again, an 8-point game now. Lewis Central back in it with 6.5 to go. Down court again. LeMars going to have to just be patient here. They can't, ball taken right away. Rigatuso, she went over and back. Yep, right in front of us. She took one dribble on this side.
She went behind the back, and that's what did it, because she came behind the back, and that went over the line and then came through. She was trying to sell that LeMars touch it, but they did not.
Timeout. LeMars will take one as well and be back right after this with a final 6:22 on the Central Iowa Sports Network.
It's become something of a lost art. Remembering someone's face. Remembering a name. They're the building blocks of a strong, caring community. Can you think of anything else more important than that? We can't.
And welcome back to Wells Fargo Arena, where Lewis Central at the free throw line, actually, with second chances and at the free throw line, has made their way back into an 8-point ball game as they trail LeMars at one point by 15 points. And now we've got an 8-point game with 6 minutes and 22 seconds to play.
LeMars has been so patient on offense moving it. They got to keep with that. Lewis Central's going to turn up the pressure, jump out a little more, but you still got to move the ball passing and do what you've been doing. And you don't need that three if it's not wide open. I wouldn't take it. Just keep passing here.
And that's really how Lewis Central has been able to get back in the game, as they've really cranked up the defensive pressure and got LeMars into some situations that they didn't want to be in. Here's another trap. They get out of it. In the lane, kick it back out, and now Baumgartner's going to reset things. And this is where they want to be. That's what they were able to handle things much better in the early going and as they extended their lead.
Passing beats those defensive traps because you move the ball and the defense can't get there quick enough.
Owens into the lane, and she shuffled her feet. Got caught in the lane and hopped just a little bit on that right foot. And back the other way comes Lewis Central, a chance to cut into this 8-point lead. And they will be shooting 2 free throws from here on out as well on every foul. Whitty, Dreckman really sagging off here, kicks it out, 3-pointer on the way, good! Alyssa Pomeranke has it down to a 5-point game. This pressure is all over the place. It's broken, caught, and foul as Rigatuso snuck in under Jen Schneider. But man, everything that went wrong for Lewis Central in this game so far has gone right for them, and really just about the last minute and a half of play.
Yeah, turn up the pressure. This may be the best thing for LeMars. If she can step to that line and hit a couple free throws, kind of stem the tide just a bit.
calmly sinks the first one, does Jen Schneider.
That's what you want out of your senior.
Schneider, a 65% free throw shooter. Second shot, good as well. And that killed the rally there for Lewis Central as they had scored 10 in a row. Rigatuso down. There's Holt. They'll be looking to her to score. Into the lane, Pomeranke kicks it out. Whitty didn't want to take the shot. Whitty again, they are sagging off her big time. Rigatuso long three on the way. Good!
Wow, that outside shot has opened up all of a sudden.
The shooting percentage is starting to even up, and trapped in the corner is Schneider, and she's going to have to take a timeout, a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it right here. But all the things that were not working well for Lewis Central early on, they started to hit some big shots. They started to get some free throws as well. But those three-pointers, they were not taking those shots early on, and now they've hit them.
Yep, and we'll see how. So far, LeMars has been fairly cool about it. They've got to come down and work their offense. A couple of turnovers, but they just need to come down and keep working the offense and get some kind of score each time down. Because if they match it from back and forth here, now you got to watch the threes a little bit, which Lewis Central has picked up some, but LeMars just needs to keep working the offense and get some points.
And now LeMars players, the ones with a little bit of look of concern on their faces, and the Titans are all fired up as they step out onto the court. It has been big shot after big shot in this game, and it's been fun really to see kind of the ones you wouldn't expect it from hitting the big shots. Here's Baumgartner, gets it over to Schneider. Here's Ellis.
And they sag back a little more on defense now.
Dreckman down low to her sister, up with a shot and in, and that's been a great combination all day long for the Bulldogs. Half court set, Whitty. Up top, down to the corner. Here is Holt. She's a scorer. She kicks it out, and Pomeranke gonna shuffle her feet a little too quick. Seen a lot of those traveling calls today. Some of the ladies just get playing at a little bit quicker pace than they're used to.
Yep. You see something in your feet move before you take off.
This pressure has been what's got to LeMars a lot more in this fourth quarter. They break it that time just fine. A three-pointer, no good. But Dreckman hauls in the rebound and can't quite get it to fall. And up high for the board is McKenna Paulson. Paulson to Rigatuso ahead in the corner. This is Whitty. And Whitty going to get fouled by Baumgartner. That'll get her to the line for 2 free throws.
Fouls on the Bulldogs, number 14.
Well, that was a big turnaround there because they had what almost looked like a sure 2 points, and it bounced out. Now they come down on the other end, a chance to cut down this 6-point lead here.
Whitty's first shot, no good. She shoots 58% on the season. She averages 11.9 points a game. She has got just 1 today. Second free throw, no good. Dreckman away with the board. Pressure from Lewis Central. Dreckman again gets it ahead, tipped out of bounds. And Megan Holt so active on defense.
Yeah, they cranked up that press. Full court again. We'll see, I think, high pressure again now as they come up.
With 4 minutes to go, LeMars only with 1 timeout left. And they've used a lot of them to preserve possession so far.
Yeah, Lewis Central with 3.
Something to keep in mind as this game drags on. I shouldn't say drags. Horrible way to describe how this game has gone.
Yeah, it hasn't been dragging the fourth quarter here.
Not a bit. Ball tipped out of bounds. It is going to go off Danny Peterson, who's back in the game with 4 fouls.
That 9-8 first quarter, yeah, it was dragging, but we've picked up the pace here.
Baumgartner in the corner. Nearly tipped away from her. Really active hands up there from Pomeranke. Schneider, Dreckman. Madison Dreckman has not scored in the second half, but her teammates have picked it up. No long shots for LeMars. They're passing up those threes. You know, they might want to take some. That's what got them to this lead right now. So you run the risk of
slowing down too much.
Really being too conservative right now as the game wears on. That time Dreckman fouled by Holt, I believe it was, that got her.
Fouls on the Titans, number 15, Megan Holt.
Dreckman steps to the free throw line. She is the leading scorer for LeMars. She averages over 18 points a game. Hits her first.
Number 30, Madison Dreckman.
She's a 73% free throw shooter. So
not really the one you want to pick out the foul there.
She's the one who you want the ball in her hands at the end of this game if you're LeMars. Second shot, no good. Rebound by Peterson. Quickly ahead, here's Pomeranke into the lane. Back out. Rigatuso thought about three.
Yeah, they did a good job of coming out on her.
Here she is in the corner. Long three, NBA range, no good. Holt with a rebound up and good. Lewis Central keeps hanging around. They'll take a timeout, and we'll take one as well and be back right after this with a final 2:53 on the Central Iowa Sports Network.
And here, we don't just dream, we make history by nearly doubling our clean energy as part of our 100% renewable vision. With this, our energy costs will remain some of the lowest in the nation. We'll create new jobs and boost economic growth. Our air will be cleaner, our state stronger, and together, we'll advance this country's energy future forever. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service. This is Iowa.
Community doesn't happen overnight. It takes a vision for the future, the ability to turn a challenge into a success, and individuals who inspire new generations of growth. Greater Des Moines has done a lot of growing over the years, and so have we. At Brick Gentry Law, your success is something that we create together. Thank you for making us a part of your community. Thank you for 50.
Welcome back to Wells Fargo Arena, where the LeMars Bulldogs had opened up a 16-point lead in the third quarter, and now Lewis Central has it back down to 5 with 2:53 to go in the fourth quarter. Madison Dreckman up against pressure, gets it ahead to her sister down low. She saw down low. She saw Annie Ellis was open, but Lewis Central.
But they mugged her before she could get the ball away.
Fouls on the Titans.
She had the right idea. She turned around and Ellis was standing under the hoop.
That's a press break. You catch, you look, and you pass. And she, you know.
1-1 for the Bulldogs. Number 24, Jalen Dreckman.
So Jalen Dreckman, the younger sister of Madison, hits her first free throw. She is a 57% free throw shooter, averages 7 points a game, 6'1", just a sophomore. And she's been a nice spark for LeMars off the bench today and really given them a mismatch, both up high and down low on offense.
Clutch free throws.
Back to 7. Lewis Central in the lead. Lewis Central with the ball, excuse me. They trail. Rigatuso.
You want to keep an eye on her. Don't give her an open look at 3. Rigatuso, she's been the one that's kind of helped them bring them back.
They tried to get her. That ball was nearly picked off. Schneider had a hand on it, didn't realize it. Driving the lane up and no good. Gets her own rebounds. Whitty up with a shot, no good. And Jalen Dreckman going to get whistled for the foul. Whitty hung in the air for a long time and she went in.
Fouls on the Bulldogs. Number 24, Jalen.
You see Lewis Central just able to keep chipping away at this lead primarily from the free throw line. They've got a lot of points with the clock not moving.
It's because they're attacking down low now. But also still have that threat of Rigatuso out there. That's when you get the inside-outside threat.
They shoot 68% as a team, and they're at 63 today. And that'll go up after that free throw. So about right where they stand normally on the season.
Full court pressure.
Baumgartner trapped. And fouled by Whitty.
And see, their trouble now that LeMars only has 1 timeout. So if you get trapped down there, you got to think about whether you want to use that or not or save it in case you need it later. But there they got bailed out with a foul.
Baumgartner's been catching the ball against that press down in the corner. We've seen her be in some tough situations. They're trying to get the ball right back to the middle.
Yeah.
Lewis Central 1 step ahead. They rotate their defense so fast that they create that trap in the corner.
And now we're in the every foul is a 2-shot foul now.
Number 14, Sydney Baumgartner.
Baumgartner's free throw, no good. Danny Peterson back in. She provided a spark for Lewis Central early on. We'll see if she can do it later in the game. Megan Holt is up to 16 points right now, getting close to her average for the Titans, and they have been tough points to come by today for her. You know, there's Peterson 3 on the way. Good! Danny Peterson off the bench gets it down to a 4-point game. Dreckman gets it ahead. They've got numbers. They go down to Jalen Dreckman up with a layup too easy. If you're Lewis Central, you've got to get back a lot faster than that, and that's the risk you run right now. Quickly back the other way are the Titans. Rigatuso up top. Thought about the 3, and she traveled. Alyssa Pomeranke took a little bit too long squaring up.
Yeah, under 2 minutes, every possession key right now with that 5-point lead.
Yes, the scoreboard was wrong. We
Yeah,
had the LeMars
there,
fans behind us.
I know, they looked up there and put the points on the wrong side. But
this is Ellis against a lot of pressure from Paulson. LeMars taking some air out of the ball right now, which is tough to do against this Lewis Central defense.
But move and pass, there you go. The key to that is not standing around when you don't have the ball. Is moving, there you go. Oh!
Richmond taken away from her. Rigatuso back the other way.
Now McKenna Paulson, 5'5" of just pure adrenaline moving all the time.
So a 30-second timeout whistle by Lewis Central. They're going to discuss things right now. We've got a fun 78 seconds ahead of us, I have a feeling right now, Dar. As we've seen Lewis Central battle back, they were down 16, have had it as close as 4, I believe is what it was, right? After their 3, after the 3-point shot.
Got it down to 3, yep, and then
and it's been a fun back and forth, especially this fourth quarter, as you see a couple teams really refusing to lose right now.
LeMars hitting enough free throws so far to just keep that lead, and that's going to be a big key too down at the end.
And you've seen Lewis Central, I think we saw as low as 17% shooting field goals right now, is back up to 30, and that's helped them get back in the game along with those free throws that you spoke of. But and Lamar is really not doing anything differently right now, but as they break that press, they've got a couple nice looks on layups. Here's Rigatuso. Trying to set up, it looked like they were trying to set up a screen for a 3-pointer up top. Nothing there. Here's Paulson, down low, they get it up with a shot, muscles it over, rebound, hauled in by Holt. She can't get it to fall. And Jalen Dreckman comes away with a rebound, and she'll have a chance to extend the 5-point lead with a minute to play at the free throw line.
Fouls on the Titans, number 2, Alyssa Pomeranke, her third.
Jalen Dreckman, we have not seen the last of her. This sophomore has had an outstanding game today for the LeMars Bulldogs off the bench. Now 15 points as she calmly drains that free throw.
Just can't get it below that 7. It's back up to 7 again for LeMars.
Lewis Central going to have to throw up a shot. Here's Rigatuso shot, no good, way short, and great box out by Jen Schneider.
Yeah, maybe one more dribble for Rigatuso. She stopped right at that NBA line, but.
And the LeMars fans behind us are starting to believe right now. They get it into Dreckman, and she's going to get fouled by Pomeranke, and that'll send Dreckman to the free throw line to try to extend this lead with 51.7 to play.
Well, you know, Lamar's the ice cream capital, and so far the ice cream has stayed cool. They haven't melted under the pressure here of Lewis Central.
As Dreckman hits her first free throw, Madison Dreckman that is, she's up to 10 points for the day. As your ice cream reference draws lots of praise from owner Pete Tarpey.
Yeah.
And ball stolen away. Baumgartner going to have a chance to seal this one pretty quickly. 46 seconds to go, and Baumgartner will have a chance to put the Bulldogs up by 10 or 11 if she can hit a couple free throws.
Could be the cherry on the sundae is what you're saying here, to stick with the ice cream reference, right?
We can't get you off that right now, can we?
Yeah, and I'm making myself hungry.
I know,
it's
saying the same thing.
What time is it? We're getting close to noon here.
Baumgartner's free throw good. Lead back up to double digits for LeMars. So we saw Lewis Central, they expended so much energy making this a game again, had it down to 3 points and just not able to get over the hump. And a lot of credit to LeMars, because anytime there needed a shot to be made, they made a big shot. And especially on the defensive end of the floor, they were able to get some stops. Up with a shot, no good. Pomeranke able to get it to fall. And a quick foul will send Dreckman back to the free throw line.
See, in LeMars that time, they didn't foul. They let him drive down and shoot because high school basketball, the ball goes through the hoop. You can take it out. The time's running off the clock. It's not like the NBA and college where it stops. So right now, you shoot the free throws. You let them come down, dribble, and let them take a shot.
No question. Dreckman calmly drains it. So Dreckman and Holt will be teammates down the road. Both have signed with the University of Nebraska Kearney. But today, Dreckman getting the final bragging rights here in high school basketball. And that's going to be it for Annie Ellis as she fouls out. She runs off the court. You don't often see too many people run off the court that happily after they foul out, but I think Ellis is feeling pretty good about her effort in this one.
Yeah, because she knows it won't be her last game. It's likely, barring a miracle here, they're going to play in the semis.
Paulson's free throw short. Free throw is good as LeMars will take the ball. That time the clock is stopped though. Baumgartner's going to get fouled here at some point. Nope, she does get it away to Owens. Gets it ahead. No rush right now. Jen Schneider, no hurry. LeMars is going to hang on to the basketball. Dreckman going to dribble it out. 8 seconds to play. And right now so far through 5A and 4A, you don't want to be a 2 seed in this girls state tournament.
No.
Right now as LeMars comes away with the upset. The final 52-43, they will move on to play Grinnell on Thursday afternoon at 3:15.
3:15, up. Now that should be a whale of a ball game.
Absolutely, and how about, we came in expecting LeMars to be able to really run the ball and be able to kind of up-tempo this game, Lewis Central to really do that. But instead it was LeMars, especially early on. I mean, look how excited these gals are right now, and they should be. I mean, their defense was outstanding today.
Lewis Central, they're not happy, but man, when you go 22-1 and that last loss comes on the floor at Wells Fargo Arena, that's a heck of a season.
Heck of a season for them, like you mentioned, but it's LeMars that moves on. We'll take a break and finish up with this game. Actually, we'll show the trophy presentation here on the court, and we'll be back with some final thoughts on this one.
Fans, please direct your attention to the court for the awards presentation. In addition to receiving plaques, each participating player will receive a commemorative basketball provided by Iowa Farm Bureau, proud title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. Presenting awards from the IGHSAU are Gene Berger and Gary Ross. Congratulations to head coach Derek Archer and the Titans from Lewis Central on an outstanding basketball season. Bulldogs fans! Your team advances to the semifinals and will play Grinnell on Thursday at 3:15. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union, we thank you for your support and attendance. Our next quarterfinal matchup will begin shortly.
So back here courtside, Andy Pollock and Dar Danielson as we wrap up this one. Dar, really LeMars, a lot of balance today as you look at the stats, a lot of balance. And for Lewis Central, really Megan Holt in her final game, it was a great effort out of her, but just not quite enough to get Lewis Central over the top.
Yeah, they ended up 28.3% from the floor, 29.4% from three, while LeMars 45.5% from the floor, 35%. Free throws 15 of 20. The Dreckmans combined for 9 of 10 free throws late, which was big. So yeah, and that third quarter was the big one, where it was a 17-4. LeMars outscored Lewis Central and kind of took control of this, and then Lewis Central never got back in it. Lewis Central led 9-8 after one, but then that second quarter, LeMars took over and just never let Lewis Central get back into it.
And that lead got up to 16 points, and we thought we were going to be looking for some other material to talk about in the fourth quarter and give a lot of credit. Lewis Central scratched and clawed their way right back into it with some pressure defense.
Yeah, when you play that full court pressure, you're never really out of a game. And they got it down to what? 4, was it?
They had it down to 3.
Or 3,
yes. Yep.
But just credit LeMars again. They didn't fold under that pressure, and they're moving on.
Every time something happened, they came back with a big shot. So we're going to wrap this one up. Once again, the final from Wells Fargo Arena, the last 4A quarterfinal. LeMars 52-43. They move on to a date with Grinnell on Thursday at 3:15. For Dar Danielson, I'm Andy Pollack on the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Nothing feels better than seeing.
Thanks for watching our live coverage of the Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament on the Central Iowa Sports Network. You can check CISN.TV for a replay of this game. The free coverage of today's game was presented by Mid-American Energy, Schottenkirk Chevy of Waukee, Atlantic Coca-Cola Bottlers, and the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union.
And there's the travel. I expect Riley Jacobs.